Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content, and we're going to do an updated tour of the One Man Hive in Endless Dreams. I just wanted to show you everything that's going on here, what sort of setups we are currently running. So first things first, I put this thing down. I'm a chef on my main. It's a campfire stove, guys. I don't really know a real use for it. So far, I've only been able to place food on it. Not really sure what it does, but it's there. It kind of looks cool. Here's the main hub. This is where our gear bench as well as our supplies bench is. We only have a 3 perk one right now on the supplies bench. We're 1 perk off. I don't really think it's a perk I'm too worried about anyway. So yeah, with that, there's also this. This is our tin furnace array. I do believe I've showed this last time. There are some flame frogs down here. We have a flame frog for every furnace. These are, I do believe these are 6 perk furnaces here. So with that, we're gonna head on into this next area here. This is the other side of the base. This is another territory plot actually. As you can see here, I'm an 8-man, 1-man hive, which means I have 8 territory plots all connected in one single base here. This is actually Beats plot 01. This is the first Beats plot I have. Now, we could be collecting stuff here, but really I need to wait till, well, actually, we'll go ahead and start collecting stuff. So, we're going to go through here and collect stuff and just put some beet seeds back. Now, this is Beets plot, like, 1, so it's not, like, the maximum number of seeds there yet, so we only have, like, 100. I need to actually reboost up some of my beet seeds as well. I think what we're currently working on, actually, is the wheat seeds. Up here is my kitchen area, though. Now, these are all 2 perk, finally. Last night on the One Man Hive live stream, we actually found someone selling the Gorman perk for 350k. I've gotten every single one of my characters to level 45 plus, and not one of them got Gorman on it. So finally we found a Mim frag actually for sale on the market for like 350k or something like that for the Gorman. So we have Gorman now, so that's a good deal. But yeah, down here is where all the wish boxes are kept. This is where I feed them. I can also collect them. At least this is side A of the wish boxes. We will go check out down there in the other side of the base and what's going on in that room there in just a second. But for now, I think we're just going to go ahead and head out the back and go ahead and check out the mountaintop area. Now, the mountaintop base area really isn't too big of an area to begin with. But with that being said, and also what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and drop all these beets down because I'm actually loading my second device. I use 2 devices when I do a one-man hive usually. I'm actually using my second device here to actually, go through and cook everything up because I want to level up those characters over there while I am on my main here just collecting everything. So we're going to go and take the zip line and we're going to head straight up to this mountaintop bases. Now, the decoration phase is not really done, but I think I've gotten most of the facilities I want laid out going on now. We also got a moonlit cat in last night's stream. I paid 500 million EL for this cat last night. And it is so worth it because now all of my Digbees are actually 100% passive. And I actually haven't harvested at all since I went to bed last night. So we're pretty much having the first time in morning, even though it's like kind of afternoon now. It's currently 2 o'clock for me, so and I went to bed at like 11 or 12, something like that. No, it was like 2. So yeah, this is like 10-hour difference in the harvest, I do believe. So regardless, once these are all harvested, I will see you in just a second. We're also going to go ahead and collect these so I can drop these over to the alt once it loads. Alrighty, so the Digbees are now harvested. This is where I've stuck my stupid aquarium decoration thing. This is just where I have it. I don't have any fish in here. I will eventually do that once I'm done building everything. So this here is a vending setup, and I only have 2 machines in here. This one is actually my main primary machine. I can get 2k EL per 1 copper ingot purchased from the alt. So whenever I go do a vendor cap, like go max out on a vendor cap, I'll just go over to this vending machine and buy out, that much EL worth of copper ingots on that character. Look at that, we're already down to 395. That was a 1,000 stack earlier. We have pulled in some big money there. I kind of keeps track of how much money I am pulling from the alts as well. With, the stack of ingots, I can do 1,000 minus whatever it's currently at and know how much EL I've actually made just from the alts. But over here is the large refinery side here. So there's 10 large refineries here. All of these are sulfur refineries. They were refining sulfur to hot rock, as you can see right here. And as you can see, first harvest of the day, we're only gonna have to put 880 back in, and we got 80 something there. And I am going to show you at the end, just how much we're actually making now of our composite crystals every single day, just the instant we log in even. It's actually a very nice setup. Now, it looks like we're out of sulfur from just collecting those Digbees. I could have brought more sulfur. I do believe I still have a good amount in the chest. But yeah, just so you know, this does use a lot of sulfur. You do got to harvest your Digbees every single day to be getting the sulfur you really need. The other good thing is, it seems like when I harvest my Digbees multiple times a day, you can actually get more ingots overall than if you just do one single harvest. I'm not sure if it's like after a certain number they stop stacking up as high, or is it quickly on the ore count or what, but it almost seems like once you get one ore to 1,000, the rest of the ore gain is lowered. I'm not 100% sure on that, once again, but yeah. So where I'm gonna go and see you at is actually, you know, back at that other side of the base. We've already seen this side. Alrighty, so back here at the main area, I added this little thing here, if you didn't notice this, and there's some lighting going on in here. Just kind of, you know, added some more fine tuning. I still need to decorate a lot of the bases, but we also got, you know, the tree ant, the Forsaken Giant, the Arachasm, you know, all the bad guys, and then of course the now caught map. I love this map. Anyway, so now that we've done that, though, we're actually going to go make ourselves all the way outside here. And down here where the garage used to just be the garage, where we just had, you know, a spot to repair our vehicles, now there's actually another storage section. And this storage section actually takes place in 2 different territory plots. So I have a lot of chests here. Now, I'm not going to go through here and show you, like, every single thing I have going on here. But here's how everything's going. Once again, all of my mats in-game are only from wish boxings. I don't even go do point of interest. I think I did in like week 1 or week 2. I mean, really, like the first 2 days. That was it. After that, I just started wish boxing everything, because blueberry sodas are just everything. And also, I do get hyperthermia in this base location from time to time. I don't ever make like a helium or anything, because, well, I'm not worried about it. And it does take a while for that to even kick in. So we are just going to go grab our stuff here. I'll show you just a little bit of what are in these chests, but I do want to keep this moving. This is just, you know, another storage room. We've also got some fridges down there. Let's go ahead and grab our stuff real quickly, though. As you can see here, though, all of this is just from wish boxes. And I just kind of like to sort everything by what it is. So, like fabric, plastics, things like that. For now, I'm just doing parts. I do know I need to have a full electronic parts chest in the future. That's usually how this always goes. I have chest and chest of E-parts by the end of one of these one-man hives. This one's been the funnest, though, because I literally haven't like went and farmed anything. I've literally just been wish-boxing this all away. I did do some upgrades to the other side of the base. We'll get to that in a minute. And I don't think I have too much in here. I think it's just like some things. And see, we also have got more beets here, actually. So what we're going to do for now, and I hate ever storing stuff like this because I don't ever remember to go over here. I'm going to specifically remember to go over here on the alt now, just as soon as I'm done recording this, and go grab all of that and turn it into some more XP. I am trying to get every single character to level 50 now. Every single character is pretty much level 46 or 47 right now. So there's pretty much 3 levels left on every single character. I like to evenly level them. I use week 3 commissions. Those did just unlock. But I also wanted to show you some other stuff. So once again, so here's the thing. I wonder if I put them in this fridge. Oh, I put them in the lower fridge. Regardless, we have some Yon-Bio dumplings. All these are just, this is all just stuff I get from Wishbox. Wishbox has given me all of this. I haven't crafted any of this. Wishbox just gives it to me when I feed it the blue. But down here is the saffron plot. As you can see here, we have 2 of the morphic saffrons, guys. And I might actually have to go swap over to another character just so that we can harvest these. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, and here we are on this alt. Now, I know we're actually not down to the morphic saffrons, but I wanted to go ahead and show you just a little bit of a design feature I've been kind of trying to keep fluid throughout this entire base. As you can see here, I can actually take this straight to the kitchen as well. Though there's a little bit of an issue with that roof there. You kind of got to jump just before the roof to get up here. But regardless, I can get to the kitchen from here. I can also get to this side from here. All of it, or I can even, you know, go down here to the wish boxes. I like it because there's just multiple ways of getting through everywhere. That's kind of like one of my main principles in my base, is multiple ways through everything, and it always looks so nice having all this saffron. I really do like the saffron plot. I think it's a really nice looking plot here. We're gonna go ahead and collect this saffron, and we'll go ahead and put back what we can of these seeds, even on just this character. I do believe we have what we're actually needing here. If not, we might actually have to use the alt to give us some money. We're gonna head over here and check. I think it's actually here. Regardless, we need to make sure we have fertilizer too unlocked. So we're gonna be able to make some breeding boost fertilizer out of that, and these should have some percentages going on. Yeah, so they're not 100% done, but boom, boom, boom. We'll do some more of that. A lot of the random foods that I get from the wish box, I throw in a rot 1 and a rot 2 chest. And what this allows me to do actually is just stack up a ton of spoiled food to just constantly be turning into fertilizers. And all of my fertilizer mats actually come from the wish boxes now. Really, the more you use the wish boxes and the more you realize you can get literally everything from them, the more fun it is to play with this method. Ooh, and that's terrible. Do we have normal saffron? Yeah, we do. There we go. I don't want to use all my deviated saffron up like that. I do know I probably have some more. but I don't want to use all my deviated saffron up like that. But it doesn't really matter. We're gonna go ahead and collect these morphic chests. Now these can only be collected on a gardener, so you can't like sell them to another player that's not a gardener. They're still gonna need to be a gardener, but you can technically pick these up and drop these to a player and have them give you cash for them. As you can see though, they're pretty much like 100 of each, guaranteed every time you harvest them. Oh, it looks like 21 deviated that time, but it's like 100 seeds every time. Why are we just constantly attacking? Okay, game. Are we done? Yes, awesome. Okay, so there we go. With that, that's how you harvest the morphic saffron crates, and we're also going to just do some quick little drops here, and I actually might as well see. We have more saffron. We'll go ahead and use this saffron actually, so hold up. Alrighty, so with most of this side toured, we are just going to take a really quick look at the other wish box facility feeding area. So this is also where I feed wish boxes and collect from the wish boxes. We do have another grocery room here for that crop facility directly behind us. Now that is really where I want to continue development in. As of lately, as I do believe just getting more morphic plant plots built out and actually going through and having more morphic plants. I'm not sure on my plan if I'm just gonna have to sit there for hours and hours and go after the morphic graphs for like the morphic crates specifically, because I want a whole bunch of each of those different types. But even looking beyond it now that we're getting into the chef actual class, there's actually a lot of plants you can just combine with different plants and create all sorts of different boosts on the chef. So I really also want to get into the chef side a little bit more. We do finally have our 2 perk stoves. Here's just like a little center platform. A little bit of a progress update on this. I do plan on adding just a few more water pumps and purifiers going along on this side. That's actually what's up with that wall there. I haven't actually gotten to that, but we will eventually. There's a lot of stuff to be going on here. So now we are actually going over to this side here. This is the Digby's collection side of things here. And what we're actually going to be doing here is, one, we're going to actually harvest all the Digby's and we're going to take care of this floor right here. Also, this is now wheat, like I said. 191 breeding boosts there, so we're going to go ahead and throw all that wheat seeds back in. I think we actually have 2 wheat plots now. We're growing wheat so that we can make the wheat ale. That's actually going to allow us to be able to actually get a bunch of deviated crops from our wish boxes, because 100 ale equals a wish box fill and a ton of deviated crops back when you actually go to harvest them. So I'll see you once we're actually done collecting from our Digby's, but yeah. Alrighty, and with the Digby's actually collected, and I did cover this in the previous video, this is a cold crystal ore refinery, and just any extra batteries I have, I come in here and throw them into here, and it's 200 cold crystal ore per battery. I have like 20,000 cold crystal ore already made up, so I didn't grab any batteries to put in there. However, I am currently stacking up on the batteries so that when we do eventually actually run out of our cold ore ingots, or our cold ore crystal, we'll actually just be able to go ahead and feed some more batteries in, and in a matter of 30 minutes we'll have a 20,000 again. So as you can see here, we also have more refineries up here. The main thing that I am trying to accomplish with this base setup is actually maxing out EL right now. And the reason for this actually is because I need EL for Sulfur Chemist and all sorts of other things. So once I actually have a good enough amount of EL stacked up, I'm hoping to just be able to max out all the vendor caps eventually every single week off of this setup. I'm not sure on how well that's going to do. We do get about a character worth of materials per day of the compost post just on the first harvest, and then when we do a second harvest it happens again. So we do get, you know, a few decent amounts of compost crystals. I did claim like 3 million worth of my EL. I think I maxed out like 4 vendor caps yesterday or something like that. So we have actually been able to use the compost crystal farm to actually speed us up a lot on the vendor caps. I'm not 100% sure on how well we're going to be able to do a full 8-man hive worth of them. It shouldn't be too bad overall though, and okay, good. So I wasn't 100% sure on that either. So here's the thing, I think I actually need to unlock the brewing barrels, and I have 12 points, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I do believe I actually need to unlock the brewing barrels in order to actually convert any of this stuff. Here we go. So it's kind of weird that it does this. It's not even brewing barrels. What's going on here then? I have the synthesis bench unlocked, I thought. I guess not. I guess you have to unlock those in order to do that. 31, wow. Okay, so I'll have to do that on a different character, but I have been growing contaminated berries, and I think I have a few thousand just stacking up in a chest. And before we leave this, we're actually going to get a little bit of a tour of this facility as well. This is mainly my bathroom. Pretty nice bathroom, if you ask me. It's my favorite bathroom ever. I've showed this before, so we're not going to spend a long time here. But yeah, that's my bathroom. Aside from that, we're gonna go down here. This is another crop facility. Like I said, we're going to the contaminated plants here. Now, I don't think I've actually went through and set up all the lighting or irrigating or anything yet through here, so that's another thing. Like I said, really the next step right now is we're about to go full-blown gardener mode in the game. That's really where we're at in the game right now. That's what we're needing to do next, is go through and make sure all our plot facilities are going on. We've also got a solution to being able to provide enough boiled water to actually keep all of these towers, because every single one of my plot that has a gardener for the character is having one of those. We actually want to be able to keep those filled up every single day, and the way to do that is to make bulk boiled water. Which the other thing about making bulk boiled water is that I can do it on all 8 of my characters and have 8 characters at a time making max stoves worth of boiled water. They're all also going to be getting XP, and they're all also going to be gaining asterism. My asterism cap is already maxed again on both my main Steam and my alt Steam account. I almost wish I had more than 2 Steam accounts again, but we don't, so we're just going to go with what we got. I think I need to check up on our silver gent and our cat here, because something's... It's not that we're lower than 30, but we are continuously getting lower on this one, I have noticed. Usually they like to stay at about 50. There might even just be a deviation in here that just has a really bad trait that's actually taking down everybody's energy, because that can actually happen. There are actually traits like, I think it's like holding back the team or something like that, that actually works absolutely terribly with other deviations. It'll actually take down your mood on everything. So what's going on here? Okay, so here we go. Another case of our power was only at 30 and it needed to be at 150, and our power was once again only at 30. So I had 2 different ones going on here. So this actually should be a lot more efficient as of today. I just now realized that. That's actually pretty crazy. So this is actually a lower floor area. It takes place just on that zip line. We've got more of these refineries right here. I'm going to go ahead and give up on actually filling the sulfur right now. I'm going to come back with a few thousand sulfur. You know, I have a sulfur chest back at the main plot. I'm just going to go grab as much sulfur as I can and come through and get these filled up for the day. I literally fill them once a day. And it's literally passive trade goods in, you know, hundreds of them a day. Literally, this is not bad at all. This composite crystal setup, while it does take an 8-man hive to do, or at least, you know, a couple characters, maybe not an 8-man, it is very, very much worth it. Now, like I said, I have a solution for the boiled water. So, first of all, I need to add more water storage tanks here, like a lot more, so that this can actually overflow and overflow and overflow if I don't collect it for a few days, and then I'll have, you know, a few million dirty water to actually be smelting. But we need to be boiling a lot of boiled water to actually be using these new crop tower facility things, whatever they're called. I really want to use them. I think it's like the greenhouse core or something. Regardless, I really want to actually use them and be able to keep them fed. A couple of terrible caveats about these things. You have to be the owner gardener in order to water these things. So while this in some ways might make my job a little bit easier, it might also make it a little bit harder. So I'm thinking I'm going to set up water storage containers that are just going to be for boiled water that I'm going to place down in every single plot, and then I'm going to have every character that's a gardener that needs to water them just be standing by close by, especially now that all the characters are level 50. I really don't need to be getting on the other characters now, right? So I'm thinking that's the plan there. So this was wheat, but we're not able to collect it. We will be back to fix that up in just a little bit. We are actually filled to the brim on our consumables. Now, here's something I did last night in the stream as a little bit of a test. So I need metal scraps bad. As I was talking a little bit on the stream yesterday, metal scraps are actually very important to a future wishbox feed I'm wanting to do of 444 fuses. Now, fuses are actually, I think they're green rarity, they're blue or green. Regardless, there are only 444 of them. They only require copper, metal scraps, and I forget the third ingredient, but it's also really, really cheap ingredient. I mean, it's literally almost free. The only thing really is your limiting factor is the metal scraps. And this used to be all of the new H37s, and while I really do like the new H37s, and we did keep a few that, you know, have like either Covet Energy or Heartthrob. We got a couple of them that were Heartthrob with Growing Pains 3 and 3 out of 4. I even got a 5.4 one of these guys somewhere. So 4.4 there, 4.5 right there. Yeah, look at that. So nice, guys. I love these new H37s, but with the paper dolls, I do believe they output a metric ton more of the metal scraps. I remember on my Way of Winter run when I had 40 of these paper dolls, we actually were getting like, you know, 2 64 stack chests full of metal scraps a week off of the paper doll setup. So that's why I've actually swapped down to some paper dolls, because as you can see there, 547 metal scraps, and this literally was just plugged in there last night. This is going to be able to bring me at least half of a K metal scraps every single day, allowing me to make a lot more fuses, because 1,000 scraps is, you know, a fourth of the fuse feed already. And once again, let's go down here to fuses, and I'll show you their rarity and everything else, just so you know why we're doing. Oh, they're white rarity. So yeah, these are white rarity. That's what's up with the fuses right here. And they just need glass, metal scraps, and copper ingots. Once again, glass is pretty much unlimited with this furnace setup here. I just got to go get, 100,000 gravel gathered up real quick. Come in here and just spam this button, and I got tons of glass. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire facility, actually, I do believe. So there was a plot facility on that very back one. We didn't tour that too much. Once again, I need to actually go through and build out the other part of every plot facility that doesn't currently have it. There are going to be 10 slots per plot facility for growing morphic graphs. I'm probably going to have to expand out on this room a little bit to actually get that done. I'm also wanting to add a freezer area for the kitchen, because I feel like I want a freezing facility, like a fridge facility with all the materials I need to use for cooking on my cooking facility. I really hate having my fridge either being all the way over there, or I have one little mini fridge there that's literally mainly just for consumables. It's just the first fridge I ever threw together so I can start keeping a hold of some things. Once again, our backpack is just maxed out, guys. So what we're gonna do, actually, I think, is just go drop all this in the fridges, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and get out of here. I might actually show you just a little bit more of an in-depth for any of you wanting to do this, how I manage this and how I try and keep this organized on a Google Doc. This is from literally over half a year of running a one-man hive experience here. So the way I organize it is 100% the way you should be organizing it. Now, I missed something on that final facility back there, actually. I have 2 water towers. I do believe it's 532 water storage towers each, and they're fed from the very top tower all the way down to the bottom. So all of my dirty water just gets pumped into there, and then that tower will stack and stack and stack and stack, and that entire tower could be stacked up with dirty water. I can collect from that bottom one, and it will instantly start dispensing more dirty water into that bottom chest. So I can take all this water. I have 2 chests set up in the chest room, actually, in which I just put all of that dirty water in. And then go through on all the characters and turn it all into boiled water, and I have a ton of it. I do believe we're at like 164 stack of boiled water, or 37k. So I'm wanting to get a lot of the boiled water stacked up before I actually ever even bother going through, and these are our god build items. So here's one grievance I have already. Sparkling pumpkin soup is a food effect, but it affects hydration. So you know what that means? It's labeled as a food effect, but it's actually a drink effect. So it does take up a drink slot. That is so disappointing. But at the same time, it kind of makes me feel more like using whimsical drink and sparkling soup instead of just increasing the duration of power surge. So I don't really care about Stardust Raspberry Shaved Ice anymore. But we do have this surprise spring roll. Now, there should be one more food item. I haven't narrowed it down yet to what my other food item is going to be. But as a chef, I do have 2 perks. That's why I was saying it's probably going to be meta just to be a chef when it comes to that. But with the Beastmaster having so much of a boost on its ally pets that it can have, it's actually a little bit more of an even playing field than I will want to admit. There's actually a little bit more of an even playing field here. The only thing is the Gardener really is the supporting class. You're getting so much damage out on everybody else just because either the pets are boosting you to crap and back, or even if not the pets, on the chef you have 2 different food buffs and 2 different drink buffs with the whole creative cooking thing going on. I seen something about Stardust cheese that actually, I think it just increased the, I forget what it was. It was, oh, it decreased your sanity by like 5% every 5 seconds. So it's perfect for an anti-sanity build. But it was also like increasing the ability, like the capability of the dish by 50% or something like that. I think I'll leave the whole recipe for the food thing down below. We're not really covering the chef thing here. And once again, this is just where I drop all the dirty water. Then I come through on all of the characters and I make boiled water, boop, drop to the next character, boiled water. That's how I made 37k literally on stream last night. Like I said, guys, being a one-man hive is a lot of fun, And while it does take a considerable amount of time, especially in the past half of a year, I have put so much time into this game, from grinding deviations to building out my stuff to before I was T-pointing everything in. But now that I am this far in, all of my deviations, really all of the materials needed to build the cells, even at least for phase 1, so you know, half of the cells, I used T-points to pull all those metal scraps in. And then all the deviations were actually just creating the materials I needed. I also used T-points in to pull in the blueberry seeds, the saffron seeds, the wheat, all these other seeds that I have. I didn't have to go out and farm these anymore because I went out and farmed them and bred them up in a previous season. That's the beauty of the farming, really, is that the seeds, you can take so many thousands of seeds with you every single season. Really, every season that I've done a One Man Hive, I've been able to take stuff that I spent hours and hours farming from the previous season to the next one, and had a great, like, it literally, there's so much progress even now. Even playing as a One Man Hive, every single season, it feels like a giant leap of progress. But with that, I do believe this is about the end of the video. Go ahead and leave a like on it if you did enjoy it, and keep it beast mode.